What's up, guys? It's your boy Josh Showtime, along my man's 100 grand Josh Valles, and it's a Showtime fight form where we talk all things fights. Got my man's live in the field, live in action, reporting live in the boxing gym. Josh Valles, how we doing, brother?
I'm doing well. Thanks for pointing out that I actually am in a boxing gym this time around. I'm at BOXR in Miami. See the logo right behind me. So excited to be here. It's one of my favorite gyms of all time. And this is great. This is great. This is the atmosphere. Everybody getting in work. Everybody in the ring. And me and my man Josh Showtime right here about to talk about what happened inside the ring. Bivol,
Yeah, hey man,
let's
look.
go.
This is just a fair example of showing that we do commentate in boxing, but we also throw hands. So don't get it twisted. So we ain't one of those people who just talk just to talk. I can talk the fight game. We both actually live the combat life. You know, I could also do the stuff in me in my wrestling gyms or me in the boxing gym as well. So just a quick glimpse, we actually do the work. But we have to talk today the big fight that I thought surpassed the hype in BTERBIEV versus Dmitry Bivol. We all know now we have an undisputed light heavyweight champion in BTERBIEV. And I mean, what an amazing fight. But first things first, we know it's a controversy, you know, a lot of back and forth over the fight. I wanted to first know, what did you think of the fight and how did you score it?
I thought this fight was brilliant. You know, we always talk about the boxer versus the puncher, the boxer versus the puncher. And sometimes those fights are kind of, you know, one or the other more so than not. This was straight up a boxer versus a puncher, and you saw it right away. The best of the best fighting each other, and the boxer and Bivol boxing like just absolute beautiful, and BTERBIEV the puncher punching absolutely devastatingly with a lot of power. So I thought it was a great fight overall. I had it for Bivol. I thought he won by at least one round. Overall, I know there was some controversies. We talked about it. I thought the scoring was way off for one of the cards, but I'm sure we'll get to that at another time. But me personally, I thought Bivol banked enough rounds to allow himself to, even though he was surviving those last 3 rounds, I thought he done enough in the first 9 to secure the victory.
So I share the same sentiment as far as like how the fight went. I mean, like I said, boxer, puncher, puncher, boxer. We saw exactly that. We saw how devastating BTERBIEV's power was. I mean, he showed up. Bivol showed up a lot, and he still was marked up because of the power that BTERBIEV had, and the distance, the feet that Bivol was able to contain in the pace. I'm not the pace, but the cardio to be able to last 10, 11, 12 rounds was no easy feat. So I give him my respects to it. Personally, I had it 6 rounds to 6. I thought that it was a draw. I was okay with giving it 7-5 Bivol. I was cool with giving it 7-5 BTERBIEV because there were so many rounds where Bivol would literally dominate the first half, but then the second half, BTERBIEV broke him down a little bit, and it's like, I don't really know who won that. What am I really? Or it would be BTERBIEV literally just doing 45 seconds of really good work, but that 45 seconds was very good compared to the 2.5 minutes of Bivol because it was more so just at a distance. It was some good clean shots, but it never seemed to really bother BTERBIEV. So I had a 6-6. I thought that Bivol needed to win a round within the last 3 rounds, and I didn't give him any of those. So I had BTERBIEV in the draw. I mean, I had BTERBIEV and Bivol in the draw.
And I'm glad you brought it up as a draw because, in my humble opinion, exactly. I just don't feel like, really, if you had to give it to another fighter, you had to give it to Bivol because he banked so many rounds. But I just didn't see a clear-cut winner. And a draw to me sounds, you know, where I think it should be as well. So, yeah, I mean, that's a great analysis of the fight. I know they're calling already for a rematch, but I think the rematch is more so due to the egregious scorecards. I feel as if it was a draw, we would get a rematch. Okay. If it was a split decision with 7-5, 7-5, and BTERBIEV won, I don't think they would fight for the rematch as, or push for the rematch as much as they're pushing immediately as they are right now. I think the 116, 112 was like, oh, robbery. We know it. It's happening. XYZ in the third. And I don't think that's the case at all. I think that if they didn't have this scorecard, we wouldn't get the. I don't think we would get the rematch right away. I think the winner would fight Benavidez.
See, man, when I first saw the fight,
or Morel, but this Benavidez territory. He fights out of Miami, so we Benavidez over here.
When I first saw the fight, I was with you guys as far as egregious 116, 112, this, that, and the third. I will say, I'm playing devil's advocate here. After rewatching the fight, do I still see 8 rounds for BTERBIEV? No. That's just me being honest. I don't. But here's the thing. Is there enough close swing rounds where I can see how somebody might have given it to him? Yes. And that's my problem. Here's my thing. This is a round by round game. That's how this is scored. There is no 10-8 rounds nobody dropped. There was no dominant round that deserves a 10-8. So we're only going off 10-9s. There was plenty. I've seen people who scored it 7-5 as a total match for Bivol, and they didn't give BTERBIEV no rounds in the first 5 rounds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They gave BTERBIEV no rounds, and they came up with a 7-5 score. My humble opinion, BTERBIEV won 4 and 5. So for me, so if I'm even just going off of your own spec, I'm saying 4 and 5. I personally gave it to BTERBIEV. Well, if I'm using his scorecard, BTERBIEV won 7-5. Now we can sit here and go into another swing round that one of the guys gave him, because he didn't give him the 12th round. I gave BTERBIEV the 12th round. Then it's 8-4 now if we're going off of his scorecard. So then that makes me kind of put in perspective saying, I can see it, I just personally don't see it, because I didn't see that. I saw 6-6. After the second watch, I still got 6-6. But I understood 7-5 either guy, because there were rounds I was like, swing. I personally gave it to BTERBIEV, but I can see somebody giving it to Bivol, or vice versa. And here's my thing, and this is where we can curve the conversation. I felt like who you decided won this fight is dependent on how you view boxing. Now, it's called boxing, but people have different definitions of boxing. For some odd reason, we have now made up a definition of boxing, which means that boxing is hit and not get hit. That is technically not boxing. That's a version, a style of boxing, but boxing in reality is punching people in the face, doing damage. That is reality. That's what the game came to. That's what it's about. That's what it started. So if we're talking about what boxing is, you're going off your own definition of how you score fights. Yes, they have actual rule sets of saying like ring generalship, damage, defense. All this stuff is part of scoring, but it's all in fact of how you view it. To me, damage rules everything. I don't care how good your footwork is. I don't care how clean your combinations are. Who did the most damage per round? That's always my number one go-to. Now, I want to know, what is your number one go-to when you judge it off of a round? What is your number one basis?
Yeah, I mean, those are all great points that you're making, because you said it best. Like, it really depends on what you're looking for in a fight, right? Me personally, I look more so for the ring generalship, right? Like, when you look at that round, who looks more in control? Who looked like whether they were landing the most shots or the most powerful, who looked like they had everything under control? They knew what they were doing, and they were executing their game plan. And from what I saw Bivol in his first 9 rounds executing his game plan, what he wanted to do and what he was trying to accomplish. Now, to your point, there were definitely some swing rounds where, again, to your point, if you're looking at it from, okay, Bivol had his moments where maybe he landed more combinations or maybe he landed better body shots. Well, BTERBIEV had the better punches. He's the one that landed the cleaner shots. Bivol's face looked to him pretty beat up after the fight. So he definitely had some moments of that. Me personally, again, I see it from a ring generalship. Who was more in control? Those last 3 rounds, BTERBIEV was in control. Whether Bivol was moving, grooving, whatever you want to call it, it was clear a BTERBIEV round. So I think to answer your question, the swing rounds, it really just depends on what you're looking at. But even then, even with the swing rounds, you can't go 116, 112. Like, it just wasn't there.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing with you. But here's my thing, and this is where I get so annoyed. People claiming robbery and this, that, that. It's not a robbery, bro. Like, if you want to complain about scorecards, fine. I don't care about that. But we're talking about who we see as a winner. There's no way you can look at that fight and say 100% Bivol won. If you say I think Bivol won, fine. But to be so certain, in my opinion, I think it's a little ignorant. Because here's the thing. And yes, I don't always like to go off of like facial damage because it tells a bit of the story, but not all the story. Because a person like Nate Diaz, you can just jab him and his face puffs up, it swells, and you be like, oh, he won the fight. Some people's face are like that. But here's my thing. Bivol is not that person. Yes, they're gonna say he's puffy because his face is a little Asian, which it's high-key racist. But yet and still, I've seen him after fights. I've seen him after the Canelo fight. I've seen him after a few title shots. His face has never looked like that. He had a knot on his forehead. His eye was swollen and black, and he had knots on his face. And they were saying, "Oh, that's from blocking." Brother, here's the thing, and this pisses me off. This pisses me off so much. I don't care if he blocks all the shots. One, people get knocked out every day blocking shots. So to say he blocked it, clearly he didn't block it enough because it still did damage to his face. If your eye is swollen, brother, it's effective. So people want to say it wasn't effective striking. Yes, it was. His eye is swollen. That sounds effective to me. And then two, like I said, people get slept blocking shots every single day. I don't want to hear that. And then three, brother, I've never seen nobody do that to him before. So for you to sit here and try to minimize it and say, oh, well, Bivol landed cleaner shots. Cool. But let me ask you a simple question. Who seemed more bothered by the shots? BTERBIEV or Bivol? 100% Bivol. And you cannot debate that. When Bivol got punched, he did not like that. He got rocked multiple times throughout this fight. Yes, BTERBIEV got rocked, I want to say once. But here's the thing. What happened when he got rocked? He got overconfident and Bivol got rocked. And he stopped punching for 45 seconds because he got hurt. So BTERBIEV is a machine. So unfortunately, yes, he landed cleaner shots, but they didn't matter. And then I'll say this because I know I'm rapping. People want to bring up that BTERBIEV threw so many shots, but he only landed 5 more. So what you're saying is he was more aggressive and he still landed more shots. I don't care about accuracy. Accuracy only matters to Floyd. I don't care about your accuracy because you're telling me the person who landed more also hits harder and also did more damage. So now you're saying that all because Bivol was cleaner and he was more accurate, that means he won, but the other guy landed more and did more damage. That's where I'm like, bruh, y'all just want to complain. And I get people like Shakur that wants to complain because that's his style. But at the end of the day, bruh, if you watch the fight off of unbiased opinion, you can see a draw and you can definitely see BTERBIEV winning, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I think these are all fair assessments of the fight. And again, it's really how you look at it. And, you know, again, whether you're looking for power or whatever, I don't think it was a robbery if you go BTERBIEV. I just think it was bad scoring. Like I said, I just don't see it 8-4. Like, again,
I agree.
The first 9, you could have easily gave like 7 of those to Bivol. Like, no problem.
You can see that. I can see that.
Like, that's why I say, like, the swing rounds, it's okay. And I'm telling you, I gave the last 3 to BTERBIEV. I was like, oh shoot, this guy's really closing the show. So, yeah. And that's fine. That's fine. That's boxing, right? These are championship rounds. But what do they also say? Was it too late? And I think if you thought it was too late, you weren't wrong in that opinion. And if you didn't think it was too late, it's because rightfully so, you had a round or 2 that you thought went BTERBIEV's way, which should only allow for a 7-5 scorecard.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? And we got to give kudos to BTERBIEV. For a guy who's never been past the 10th round, for him to be able to pour it on Bivol in round 11 and be really aggressive in round 12, that man is, at 39 years old, bro, like, what a G. Like, he is a G. I got to give him respect for that. But, yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, I just think that we're both saying the same thing. The fight was competitive. We scored differently, but that's because we're not the same person. and I'm cool. I'm cool with a split. I'm cool with the unanimous for either guy. I'm not too particular about the scoring just because I feel like I understood it. I just didn't agree with it. And I thought Bivol boxed wonderfully, man. He did an amazing job as a boxing wise. But at the same time, man, like if you don't, if and at one point I didn't think BTERBIEV even respect Bivol as a power puncher. Because at one point he kind of was just like terminating him. He was like, "Bro, I'm just gonna keep walking forward." And people, I guess, don't really like people who go backwards because Bivol was on his bicycle a lot, but he was still throwing. I thought it was a great fight overall. I would definitely love to see the fight again. I mean, I don't know if it'll look the same. I definitely want to see the adjustments both guys make. I think BTERBIEV will probably make more of the adjustments than I think Bivol will. But that's just because I think BTERBIEV was more disappointed in how he looked, more so than Bivol. I think Bivol he fought a really good fight. He just was on the bad side of a wrong decision. And I think BTERBIEV was like, I won, but I don't really like how I won. I probably should have gotten a stoppage.
Yeah, I mean, BTERBIEV, in my opinion, did have opportunities for the stoppage. I did see if I felt like if he put on the gas more. But as we talked about last show, I just feel as BTERBIEV just did not ever. He hasn't been in the championship rounds in about 5 fights, right? So we're talking about someone who was probably hesitant to put gas, to press on the gas because he was unsure of what he was going to be in those championship rounds. Now he knows in that 10th, 11th, 12th round, he can put a little pop behind his punches. So I'm expecting if they do fight again relatively soon to see a whole different outcome.
I do too. And I honestly, like, it's weird to say, but like, I'm a little bit more confident that BTERBIEV can get the stoppage in a second fight. I don't know what is it in me, but it's just the way Bivol was taking those shots. He just didn't, in my opinion, he just didn't look like he really liked those shots.
Right.
Even afterwards, when they interviewed him and was talking about his power, he was like, "Brother, I can't even feel my hand. Like, that's how bad he punched me." Like, I don't, it's like I said, I think that second fight, I'm picking BTERBIEV, but let's get realistically, Bivol can still win the fight too. He's that good. So
Yeah.
I guess like before we have to go or whatever, I want to ask you, what is next? Do you think that it should be a rematch, or should they fight the winner of David Benavidez and Darrell Morale, or should Canelo come up and fight BTERBIEV?
Well, me personally, I would rather see the winner of Morel Benavidez fight BTERBIEV next. I think both fighters earned that. And then the loser, Bivol, and whoever the loser of that fight is, should fight again I think this little round robin that they have going on with these 4 should take place. Would I be open and happy to see a Canelo versus BTERBIEV fight? Sure, why not? It's Canelo we're talking about versus BTERBIEV. But overall, I would love to see a round robin in that light heavyweight division between those 4 fighters, which would mean Benavidez would get the win, which is better. A lot of B's going around here. Bivol, Benavidez. But what is going around too is a lot of belts. As you know, they got all the belts. So, I mean, I would rather see that. I'd rather see Benavidez get the winner. The guy deserves it. And, you know, if you can't get Canelo, give him a BTERBIEV.
My thing is, like, I don't understand. And here's the thing. I said this first. I said this actually on a show with you months ago. And then I was watching one of my favorite shows, my podcast to watch, which is Morning Combat. And Luke Campbell, I mean, not Luke Campbell, I'm sorry. Luke Thomas said the same. He's also from the DMV. He said the exact same thing I said a few months ago about Canelo, which is that Canelo is now at a phase now where he takes 2 kind of fights. Either a fight that we know he's going to win, and he's a very big favorite, or it's going to be a fight that we know he should lose, and he has nothing to lose. I said that months ago, where I was like, I think that's the phase he doesn't want to take a challenge where it's a 50-50 fight. He's at one of those, either it's an 80-20 he's going to win, or it's an 80-20 he's going to lose. Just because if he loses, it does nothing to his legacy because we expect him to lose. If it's a 50-50 and he loses, that diminishes his legacy because it's like, oh, that boy was in his weight class, his same size, and he lost. How good is he really? If he loses the BTERBIEV, ain't nobody gonna say, "Oh, that Canelo ain't good." No, it's like that dummy went up to light heavyweight, fought the best light heavyweight in the world, trying to be great, knowing he ain't nowhere near big enough to fight this man. Got knocked out. He tried to be great. He does nothing to his legacy. I think that's what Canelo tries to do, but he should stay far away from BTERBIEV. He's never been punched like that. He's never fought a puncher like he's fought Triple G. This is Triple G on steroids. We don't want to fight that guy.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. So, again, if he does if Canelo does decide to fight BTERBIEV, cool. But I'm not calling Canelo a duck or anything like that if he does it. Even if Canelo fights Bivol again, trying to get his lick back, that's fine. I don't mind it.
Cool. Cool. Now, I know I'm going to go ahead and let you go to the gym. I'm going to wrap you up enough. All right, anything you want to say before we head out?
Hey, keep on tuning in. We've been, racking up these views. We appreciate everybody leaving comments. We got our social media page booming on Twitter. We're getting to Instagram soon. So look forward to seeing you guys on there as well.
All right, yeah, as always, man, follow us on social media at Josh's Fight Forum. We're on Twitter. We're going to be on Instagram soon. And yeah, like come in, get in the debate, comment, like, and subscribe per usual. Thank you guys for always supporting. We are out. We're going to be good, but y'all make sure y'all stay blessed.